but I'm pretty sure every Wii owner in the world will know exactly what this is about. He's called what is it?
Approximately 10 hours later.
Oh, sorry, wait, Nintendo Switch Sports. Sorry, I don't know why I can't.
You're still stuck in the Wii.
Yeah,
Wii
Nintendo. Actually, I do have a lot more to talk about, but I want to hear some of TakuStar's thoughts before I ramble on for a few days. But what did you think about the mouthful mode stuff?
Yeah, no, it looks lame, but it looks cool lame. It's like a, but I mean,
I guess you could say it sucks because it definitely accurate. Kirby, that's what he needs to do. So
yeah,
we're not wrong, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, it works for Kirby.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is OutlawClient here, back once again for another episode of the weekly podcast zone. So we had a little bit of a hiatus in between, but guys, we're back when we were needed most, as today we'll be here to cover the Nintendo Direct, the February Nintendo Direct that took place on the 9th or 10th, depending on where you are. But with me, as always, I'm not alone. I have TakuStar here.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And today we're going to be breaking down this Nintendo Direct. So let's not delay any further and I'll just go right into it. So starting off, the first game we had was Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, aka everyone's favourite, or all of America's favourite Nintendo game, of course. So tell your Smash fans, tell all of your Smash Brothers friends that there's some high quality Fire Emblem stuff going on. I'm sure they'd be very happy about that. But anyway, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes is very similar to Hyrule Warriors. I mean, it's pretty much a Warriors style game, so you have Orochi Warriors and Hyrule Warriors and so on, but of course it's like the sequel follow-up to the last Fire Emblem Warriors games, and as the title suggests, it takes characters from the Three Houses series, so it looks alright in my opinion. I'm not a huge Fire Emblem fan, and I'm not a huge Warriors fan either, although I am a little bit familiar with Hyrule Warriors, but me personally, this won't be a game that I'm rushing to get. How about you, TakuStar?
Yeah, I mean, my history with the Warriors games on the Switch specifically, they kind of ran like rubbish. So I'll be missing this one out. But for the Fire Emblem fans, it's a cool addition.
Yeah.
To the, I'm guessing if it's building on the lore, should be fun for them, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well, because Hyrule Warriors, or I believe it was Calamity of Ganon, I think it was called. I can't remember the exact title, but the Hyrule Warriors follow-up one kind of had like an individual storyline, like a one set in an alternate universe. And again, it really did feel like it was following up from Breath of the Wild. So hopefully, Fire Emblem fans will get something similar here, and we'll get a bit more lore and backstory, maybe like a follow-up to Three Houses. So yeah, that might be pretty good for the fans. But as we spoke about before, I know we spoke about this quite a bit off stream, but the performance is literally the only reason why I didn't pick up Calamity of Ganon. I would have got that one day one if it wasn't for that demo. But unfortunately in Hyrule Warriors Calamity of Ganon, unfortunately you can't change any type of settings on there, so it's just like really laggy. The frame dips are ridiculous, so I think from what I could see, it would go down as low as like 5 frames per second if there were so many enemies on screen. So that was pretty bad. But the crazy thing is that I've heard so many stories of past Warriors games that have allowed you to change the settings, either to go to a stable frame rate at 30 frames or to sacrifice, maybe have a few frame dips but at 60 frames. But again, just being able to choose those stable frames would have been hugely beneficial to getting customers like myself to purchase the game. But I just hope that it was also in Three Hopes. So maybe I'd have a little bit of interest, but apart from that, I'm not super interested in that one. But anyway, following on, we had another game which I didn't expect to appear, and that is Advanced Wars 1 and 2, which is RE Boot Camp. Now, once again, I'm not really a huge I don't want to say fan, because I don't know too much about Advanced Wars, and I've heard nothing but great things from it. But I haven't really followed it too much. I know there was like a Game Boy Advance version of Advanced Wars, and I never really tried that one out, but it looks pretty cool because some of these new features are things such as building your own maps, and again the gameplay just looks pretty nice. It's visually appealing in my opinion from what I've seen so far, and it's definitely a title that I'd probably try getting into just because I've heard so many good things about Advanced Wars in the past. I don't know, how do you feel about this one?
So I previously played Advance Wars back on the GBA
Oh, nice.
when I was young. Yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, looking forward to. I don't know if I'll get this one, but I'd like to just because there's so many games coming out this year. But it's if Advance was a very good game.
Yeah.
The Advance Wars games were very good games. So being reimagined with current hardware, it's nice, and obviously for young gamers that haven't experienced those games when those games came out. Those games are like nearly 20 years old now.
Jeez, oh my goodness, we're old. We're old. We have to pull out the retirement soon.
So good games, and I like the coat of paint on them. How they look spectacular.
I agree as well.
I do want to get them eventually, but they're not like they're not like at the top of the games that I need to play.
Yeah. No, believe us, guys. There are a ton of games here that will surely be leaving our wallets empty by the end of it. But yeah, no, I should mention as well, Advance Wars is available on the 8th of April. And also, I should quickly mention as well, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes is available on the 24th of June, which I don't think I mentioned last time. But anyway, we'll introduce it to a new generation, and of course you can take it with you on the go, like with the benefit of most Switch games. Now, next up, we had a game that I have to admit I wasn't too hyped for personally, and that was No Man's Sky. Now, this is actually a game that was on the Xbox and PS4, or Xbox One, I should mention, and PS4, both on both of those consoles. And now I know that they've expanded this game a ton in the past, and there's a lot of huge features on there. I know it's a big fan favorite as well. I hear a lot of people saying really good things about how expansive the game is now. But for me, I still have that stigma of when it first released. I just can't shake it. Honestly, I think for me personally, the damage has already been done. I just remember hearing about all the promises made in that game, and you could barely do anything. So I don't know. Maybe this will be the entry that will, or the Switch version will be the entry that will shift my opinion. But to be honest, I'm not super hyped for this one. It is pretty crazy the fact that they're able to get this one on Switch just because of the tons of different features on here. So that's one of the main reasons why I wasn't expecting to see this game, because usually in general the Switch has a bad reputation of playing ports. Certain games, like I believe the Outer Worlds was one of them, that just did not run well at all on the Switch. But I don't really have too much else to say about No Man's Sky. It's great for additional fans. Hopefully fans will be able to transfer their data, just because I believe there's so much to do, and I can imagine some people have sunk many years into this game. But apart from that, happy for the fans. Not too happy for myself. I probably won't be picking this one up. But how about you, TakuStar? Any thoughts on No Man's Sky?
Obviously I've heard good things about how the game post launch it's been better, but like you said, when the damage is done as soon as the first time the game comes out, and I rarely give a game a second chance. I just don't have that. I don't have that time to
exactly. Yeah.
Once I'm like, this is rubbish. I won't go back to it. Even afterwards, if everyone's saying it's really good, it's just that it didn't manage to catch me at that time. That point in time, and it's unfortunate. I'm sure it's a good game, and obviously for now, obviously the package itself is, it's been they've improved it. People can, for first timers that have never played the game, they can get into it on the Switch, I guess. And just not my thing, I guess. It missed that. Yeah.
Same here as well, but as we said, it will introduce it to a new audience. This is the first time it's been on a Nintendo platform, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, other Nintendo fans that are interested, you guys will get to try out No Man's Sky. I'm not too sure. I don't think it had did it have a release date? I'm not entirely sure of the exact date, but yeah, coming soon, I'm guessing. It says this summer, actually, available this summer. So yeah, you fans have that to look forward to. Anyway, next up we had another game. I think you guys are probably going to be hearing me saying this a lot, but another game that I did not expect at all. This is probably the game that I expected the least to appear in this direct. But this was a long-time fan favorite, the sports game known as Mario Strikers, and this time it's called Battle League. So a follow-up to I believe the GameCube version was the last one that we had. But a new Mario Strikers entry, again, as I said, just so surprised to see this one. The thing about the classic one is that a lot of the characters, a lot of people mentioned about how the characters were quite aggressive and it didn't seem very Nintendo-like as many people described it. Again, this is another game that I haven't tried out, like the original series I haven't tried out. And once again, guys, as always, I promise you, I do actually play games. I have played some games, but Mario Strikers is just one of them that I haven't gotten around to trying out yet. But no, in the classic one, a lot of fans mentioned about how the characters were very energetic or aggressive, and we had certain things like Waluigi crotch chopping and so on, just things that you wouldn't usually find in a Nintendo game. But alas, it was still a cult classic game. I don't think it sold as well as Nintendo wanted it to, but it was still a very popular game with fans. So it's good to see that there's a follow-up here. It seems like they've added in quite a few. Well, actually, one thing I should mention is that a lot of the kremlings, I believe the kremlings were like other players and keepers at the time, so it seems like they've removed a lot of the Donkey Kong references and so on to this. But it seems like they've added a few new layers, like you can add in like gear customization, different gear that will change the stats like passing, strength, speed, and so on. And they look different as well, so nice to have a bit of customization. And yeah, it just looks pretty cool. You can do online, I believe, up to 8 players, so I believe you can do like 4 a side, all individual players. So yeah, it's good to see that it's a multiplayer game, and yeah, a definite fan favorite, I guess. Anyway, TakuStar, what are your thoughts on Mario Strikers? Have you had much history with this game, or?
No, I haven't had any history with this spin-off series in the for Mario. It looks cool. Yeah, it's just not. If it's for me, if it's not Mario Kart or if it's not Mario Party, I probably won't want to play it. But I mean, it looks cool, and it's obviously good for fans who've played the previous installments as well. So now they've got something new to look forward to for them to play. So but if you have a copy at your house and when I come over and stuff like that, I mean, if I like it,
guinea pig, let me get it, and then no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, it probably will end up like that, to be honest. But yeah, no, it's funny because again, I'm kind of like you. I mostly stick with Mario Kart and the tennis games. But it's weird because I love games, I love football, but I rarely ever play any football games. Like, I don't really play FIFA too much or Pro Evolution.
Soccer for the American people.
Yeah. Sorry, I hesitated for a second there to use the word soccer. It's just my English instincts were kicking in. But anyway, yeah, I rarely ever play any football games, to be honest. Mario Strikers, I know the Mario Tennis on the GameCube. I wasn't interested at first, but when I tried it, it surprised me quite a bit. It had quite a few modes than what I was expecting. So maybe this might be another game. If the reviews are high enough, this might be the game that will convert me to a Mario Strikers fan. Mario Strikers Battle League fan. But for now, I think I'll just remain on the fence and wait to see a little bit more. But anyway, Mario Strikers Battle League is available on the 10th of June later this year. So again, something that fans won't have to be waiting for too long. Now, next up, we had another AAA title, a really big game that a lot of fans are waiting for, and this was in the form of Splatoon 3. Although this time we didn't get any actual footage of the core multiplayer or as in player versus player multiplayer or the single player mode, but instead we had a more detailed look at Salmon Run, which is like this game. If you guys are familiar with Gears of War, think of Horde mode, or even like zombie mode in Call of Duty. So it's kind of like a wave by wave round mode. So you have to fight off hordes of, just replace the zombies with salmon, and you're set. But again, I think I might have mentioned this in the last Direct. I personally don't know too much about Splatoon. I've played a little bit of the first one actually when TakuStar, I believe he brought it over to my house at one point. Pre-COVID days, by the way, guys. So no need to be up in arms. But no, I remember him coming over to my place and we played a little bit of Splatoon multiplayer, and it was really fun. But again, we haven't actually played any of Splatoon 2, so we haven't experienced Salmon Run before. But showed quite a few different things, like individual bosses. So I believe there's bosses at the ends of certain waves, and it seemed like there was a bit more customization options and other features, such as being able to throw the eggs, I believe. And I think I have to admit, I haven't tried it, so I'm not too sure, but I believe the salmon are kind of like the flag in a way, the thing that you have to protect. So being able to throw it around, I think, will be really good. Really good as a team game. Being able to work well with other players and toss them around at each other, and just adds a layer of strategy additional strategy to it. But TakuStar, how do you feel about Splatoon? I know you kind of fell off the series as well, much like myself. But how do you feel about this Salmon Run first look so far?
So first of all, that trailer was really bad. It didn't excite me in actually like wanting to play the game. But besides that, I know Splatoon games are going to be good anyway, regardless. But yeah, looked good, I guess. Music of the trailer didn't really help to sort of like, don't know, just gets like the fire burning, I guess.
Yeah.
From my side of things.
It's funny because I have heard a lot of people saying that they didn't like the music in the trailer. I have to admit, I didn't mind that much. I know a lot of people saying it was awful. Honestly, I think I'm the only person. It's just me and myself and I that have been saying that they don't mind the music too much. It had like a weird eerie feeling to it, so I didn't think it was too bad. But I agree, it didn't. For someone who isn't a Splatoon fan, I think a lot of people might be looking at this and be thinking, oh well, Salmon Run was in the second one. I've never played the second one. This doesn't really look too different, or what's the main differences between this one and the second one? And I guess if you don't follow the game closely, you wouldn't really know. I mean, I had to do a lot of research after just to double check and see some of the new features, but yeah, no, I agree with you. It wasn't something that got me hyped. I thought it looked okay with like adding the different bosses. So I guess the addition of the bosses is something that's seen as big and new, and I kind of identified that quite quickly, that it wasn't in the previous games. That was like their big selling point. But no, I agree with you. As someone who hasn't played Splatoon since the first one, and even then it was only when I was playing your game, I didn't actually purchase it myself. It's not really doing anything to sell me on the game. So yeah, I thought it was a standard trailer, but I think they could have done a lot better. But anyway, I don't think they had a release date for that one. It was just called Salmon Run Next Wave. So that's their updated version of Salmon Run. But yeah, I'm sure that many Splatoon fans will be very excited for that one. Now, moving on from Splatoon, we had Front Mission First Remake, and also Front Mission 2 rather will also be featured as well. So I believe they're working on the first one first, and then the second one will be releasing after. But I have to admit, this was the first game I knew next to nothing about. I think I might have seen a box for it on. It was a PS1 game, wasn't it, TakuStar? Yeah, I think I might have seen a PS1 box art for this game or something, but I don't know. I don't think I ever saw an English one. I think it was like looking online, a Japanese version of this or something. But either way, I think TakuStar, maybe you can talk a little bit more about this one, because I know next to nothing about it.
Yeah, I just know it's a big Square. Well, this is during Squaresoft days before they merged with Enix, but it was a big like mech like tactical RPG, and then actually there was not a spin-off but a spiritual successor that came out a couple years back. I can't remember, but I'm just gonna check the name for it. Came out on I think last generation consoles, and the game was called Left Alive.
Left Alive. Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
That was a spin-off spiritual successor. I don't know, in that world. So you had like characters being able to control these mechs and stuff like that. That game didn't do too good.
Right.
But yeah, for the fans that that play for that series, they're getting like their favorite games in the series remade. So something something they can look forward to, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's crazy as well, because I didn't know anything about the spiritual successor, and I'm pretty sure I'd heard the name before, but I didn't even know, like, there's no way I would have known that was even related in any way, shape, or form, because it sounds completely different. But yeah, no, again, I guess any fans of the series, since the second remake is going to be coming out as well, so again, I'm sure they can be very excited for that, because I heard that's a fan favorite, it has its cult following, and that's kind of the theme of this direct. I think it had a lot of games that were like that had cult followings, maybe not the most popular games when they first released, but they've all got cult followings. So that's definitely a theme that you'll be hearing throughout this podcast. Anyway, next up after Front Mission First Remake was probably, in my opinion, maybe my least favorite game, or it was down there, but the ultimate Disney and Pixar racer, which is known as Disney Speedstorm. So this is Disney's take on Mario Kart. Mario Kart, Sonic All Stars Racing, Crash Team Racing. It's their car, it's their mascot racer, which it does feel like it was something that was inevitable. I mean, Disney characters, Disney has a ton of different characters they can pull from. not only do they have the mouse and like like Goofy and Donald Duck, the Kingdom Hearts one. Actually, then maybe they could just call it Kingdom Hearts Kart. But anyway, I digress. Well, what I was going to say is that they have so many characters to pull from, including like Marvel characters if they wanted to, and Star Wars characters and so on. It's just this endless potential in terms of characters that they could use. But me personally, I'm just rewatching some of the footage now. Actually, I'm just seeing stuff in here for the first time. I see there's like an anti-gravity like rail section that you can grind on rails, which I didn't even see the first time around. Which actually looks quite interesting. But honestly, I wasn't super hyped for it. It does look a little bit on the stiff side. But then again, I don't know if I've just been spoilt by Mario Kart and Crash Nitro Kart and stuff. I don't know if those games have spoiled me so much that my expectations are too high. But yeah, that's Disney Speedstorm. But yeah, how do you feel about this one, TakuStar?
First of all, it's a free game.
Oh yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Can't complain. But I mean, for what it looks like a decent. It looks like something that you can play. It's decent to play. It's got Disney characters. Who doesn't love Disney characters?
Yeah.
I guess. Plus, it makes sense.
Definitely.
Because it's kind of following the whole thing that
mascot racing type thing.
The mascot racing thing, and even just having mascots like these well-known mascots in like a game where they're like doing stuff together. You've got that fighting game that's coming out, right? The Smash copy.
Oh, like the Warner Brothers one.
The Warner Brothers one, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got it just makes sense having all these like renowned characters in one space where they they're doing stuff together.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Mario Kart. Oh well, I can't get to that yet. But,
yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
But,
maybe certain DLC features might have dashed our expectations of a new Mario Kart, but just a bit of foreshadowing, guys. But yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But no, I agree with you. I think after all these companies are doing their mascot crossovers, like the Warner Brothers one, they all want a piece of that Smash Brothers success, Smash Brothers / Mario Kart success. And as you were saying, it just seemed inevitable. It seemed like something that just makes so much sense. Disney have all these characters and mascots to use that it would be perfect. I was thinking maybe they should have called it like Kingdom Hearts Kart or something, because they could have banked off of like when Sora was just released in Smash Brothers and is pretty big, and you got the collection as well coming out soon. They could have banked on that. But I mean, Disney anyway, it's got Disney on the front. It will probably sell. It will shift units. And as you said, free game, so it's all about the downloads. So yeah. But me personally, I think I need to see a little bit more. But as TakuStar mentioned, it is a free game, so I can't be too critical, I guess. But yeah, Disney Speedstorm is available this summer. No specific dates just quite yet, but yeah, this summer from what they say. So next up, going from I previously mentioned one of my least favorite games was with Disney Speedstorms, and unfortunately we're just going to go a little bit lower now. So Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. This is a port coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, the original Force Unleashed games, which I should mention, they were fantastic games. I played a little bit at my cousin's house. I love these games. The customization was great, and I think you played as Star Killer, and he was just pretty powerful. You felt like you were in control. It was a really cool game for the time. But the problem here is that this game, it unfortunately is stuck in that time. Now, the original ones came out for Xbox, the original Xbox and PS2, and yeah, honestly, it's just a direct port of those games, so they look just as crusty, just as old as it was before. So, I mean, look, if it's a good game, it's got good gameplay, that's fine, but it's just, it doesn't look very good by today's standards, I think. Maybe, again, it's because we've gone from these AAA games to this, but in my opinion, it just didn't look very good. But, TakuStar, do you have any history with Force Unleashed, or...?
No, I just know initially when it came out on the Xbox 360, I think maybe it came out when I was still in secondary school.
Yeah, it was quite some time ago. Yeah, I just remember all the Star Wars guys like really liking it. How you can play as in like an apprentice, right, or something like that. Yeah, you played as a Star Killer.
Yeah, so yeah, they really liked that, and yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice obviously Star Wars is bigger now than it was when that game came out originally on the 360, because the IP's been revitalized. So
Yeah, sorry.
So,
So
yeah.
actually, I know before I said original Xbox, I meant like original like Xbox
360,
360, and it was also on
360,
PS2 though as well. There was a PS2
It was on
version.
PS2.
It was on PS2, yeah. So
That is
I think that's what kind of
crazy.
confused me at first. But yeah, it was on PS2. I think because PS2, you know, it was selling so well,
Yeah.
they just put everything on there. But yeah, no, I think maybe it was the PS2 version that I played at my cousin's house. I really can't remember, but yeah, it's quite an old game by this time.
Yeah. So yeah, I just know the Star Wars fans at the time really appreciated it, and obviously like now there's even more Star Wars fans than ever now because the series is back in full force. So it's probably one of the better Star Wars games, I guess. So
definitely.
But like you said, unfortunately it's stuck in that time.
It looks like it. Those graphics are saying that, but yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. I just looked up the release date now, and it was 2008. So quite some time ago now. Quite some time ago. So
that was that was like I was in year 10 when that came out. Year 10.
Yeah, quite some time ago. But yeah, I don't think there was a release date on that. But yeah, it's a port that will be coming to the Switch soon. So hey, if you don't mind, if you can look past the graphics and you want a bit of Star Wars nostalgia, then and also a portable game as well, then I'm sure that will be the Star Wars for you. So yeah, as I said, it is a quality game. It's just it seems a little choppy as well. It doesn't seem to run all that well. But anyway, moving on from that, we went even lower, and probably my personal least favorite game of the Direct, but a very, very similar thoughts as Force Unleashed. But we had the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, and as I said with Star Wars Force Unleashed, the game itself was great. Like I remember I played a little bit of 1 and 2. I know 1 had Altair, it wasn't Ezio, but no, I remember playing 2, and from what I've heard as well, these are fantastic Assassin's Creed games. But unfortunately, it seems like it's once again a direct port, and the gameplay, from what I can see, the graphics don't look very good. It looks very choppy, and knowing that it's classic Ubisoft, I think we're going to see I just have this feeling that all the same bugs are going to be in the game, like the one where you would just have the floating eyeballs, and dodgy stuff that happened in the classic games. It doesn't look like it's been updated too much, but that's just my thoughts so far. As I said, they look like the games themselves were fantastic from what I remember, but in terms of being a port on Switch, I just wish they could clean it up a little bit like some of the other games. But TakuStar, how do you feel about Ezio Collection?
It looks really bad. I've heard these are the best Assassin's Creed games. I previously tried to get into the Assassin's Creed games around Assassin's Creed Unity time. Left a bad taste in my mouth. But even now with the remake, not the remake, but the ports of the quote unquote best Assassin's Creed games looking like this is further detracting my interest away from the series. So yeah, I don't really. I mean, it looks cool for a new generation. Like I said, new generation of players, can play the game. But yeah, it's trying to will me into Assassin's Creed. I don't think this is the one.
But yeah, as you said, it would be good for a new generation. People that want to become assassins. This could be their training phases. A new generation for them to experience the Assassin's Creed classic. But unfortunately, to me, it just looks like another lazy Ubisoft port, another quick cash grab with minimal changes to maximize those profits. So yeah, very unfortunate to see some these quality games go down like that. But anyway, that's Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection. I think I should move on before I rag on for another hour on the game. But fortunately, as I was saying, that was my lowest point. But I guess on the bright side, it can only go up from here. Anyway, so next up we had SD Gundam Battle Alliance, and this is exactly as you'd expect in the name. It's a Gundam game, giant mechs. Actually, I said giant, but they're kind of like more like chibi mechs in this trailer. But yeah, I've never really played a Gundam game. I know that it's really popular in Japan, but it just seems like a standard Gundam game. You fight other massive robots, kind of similar to the shows, and yeah, you fight robots. I need a little bit more gameplay. There wasn't too much gameplay in the trailer, from what I can remember, but well, actually, there was a little bit of gameplay, but it wasn't an amazing amount. It just showed brief moments of fighting against giant mechs. But yeah, I honestly haven't really got too much to say about this. There was like an upgrade system. I can see that there was like HP, and you can HP boost melee and ranged attacks. There was like an upgrade system, so there's a little bit of depth in this game. But apart from that, I can't really say too much else. How did you feel about this one, TakuStar?
Same as how you feel.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough. I mean, I watch the Gundam anime, big fan of them, but in terms, the game's never been really like a good Gundam game in my sense. I could be wrong. I don't want like the Gundam army coming with pitchforks and torches in the comment section.
Yeah, watch out for them. Watch out.
But yeah, I don't know any good Gundam games, but yeah, this just looks like I could be wrong. When it comes out, maybe it might be good, but it just looked like run-of-the-mill Gundam game they're just releasing because, you know, this is a big brand.
Got to meet the Gundam quota.
Yeah, so here we go. Here you go, you guys. But yeah, nothing too substantial. Yeah. And just saying so as well, when you said you haven't really experienced any good Gundam games, me as well. But it's, you know, knowing Japan, they're probably like locked Japanese exclusive games as well. A lot of them that we missed because, again, Gundam is really, it's the most popular in Japan, so I can imagine they'd keep them exclusive. But again, we could be totally wrong. It's just we don't really know too much else about Gundam. But yeah, it looks like just a normal game. We can't really say too much else based on what we saw. But yeah, that was Gundam Battle Alliance, or SD Gundam Battle Alliance. So next up we have another huge cult classic that I was certainly not expecting again, and this is Chrono Cross Remaster. Now, TakuStar knows a ton more than me about Chrono Cross, so I mean, what did you think? I think we should start off with your opinions this time. Super excited that this game's getting a remaster. I originally haven't played this one, but I've played Chrono Trigger, which is one of my all-time favorite games, and it still holds up really well, you know, to games that even come out till this day. From a mechanical point of view, from a story point of view, just really good, amazing game. And obviously this is the sequel, just looking for. I don't think it's been out in Europe, to be honest. So I think I heard it was the it was the extra on there that had never been translated. I think it was what was it called? Radical Dreamers.
That's the one. Yeah, the Radical Dreamers.
Yeah,
that had never been available in Europe.
Yeah, so looking forward to actually playing the game. Obviously, it looks a bit rough, but it's just a port. But the game came out nearly like 18 years, couple years ago. So I'm just glad that it's out at some decent.
Exactly. Just having it here in Europe, the full thing.
Yeah, so it'd be nice, if people get it, play it, and then we get like a sequel to either that game or even like a sequel to Chrono Trigger. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't really say as much as you because I don't really have much experience with it. And guys, please do not put your pitchforks. If anyone still had their pitchforks and torches up after the Assassin's Creed stuff, please put them down because I haven't played Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross before. Yeah, I know it's terrible. I will try it, but I don't know much about it at all. I know that it's just been on many people's best games of all time, both Cross and Trigger. I've seen it on a lot of people's favorite games of all time lists, so that's how I know that it's pretty important. But one thing to mention is that they mentioned in this one the remaster will have a feature where you can turn off enemy encounters alongside a remastered soundtrack as well. So hopefully you'll be able to flip between the modern and the remastered and the classic soundtracks. I know a lot of fans like that stuff. I certainly do in games that I've played, remastered games that I've played previously. But no, I would have to wait and see what else. I can imagine a lot of people will be excited for this one. And no, I don't think there's been a release date for this one yet. But 7th of April it is. 7th of April here. But Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition will be available on 7th of April. But yeah, I can't really say too much else here. Anyway, so moving on to the next game. And honestly, this was probably my game of the show. I mean, there were a lot of solid games here. But in terms of games that I found the most appealing, I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land took the cake for me. Took the cake. I was about to say trophy, but I think cake is a lot more fitting with Kirby. But not only did this trailer show off, I mean, again, I was pretty excited for this game anyway, based on what I've seen on the previous footage. But this trailer showed off quite a few new things as well. So a very, very expansive world. We know that it's full 3D. But in addition to that, Kirby has a brand new mode, which is, I think, honestly, borderline nightmare-inducing images. But no, Kirby has the official mouthful mode, where Kirby will be able to transform into, well, not transform, but we'll be able to use the abilities of certain inanimate objects like cars and other things that Kirby can't absorb normally, like with other copy abilities. But yeah, from what we saw in the trailer, there were quite a few, such as the car, a light bulb, and even water that Kirby could use to spit on enemies. But it seems like it's going to be improving the gameplay quite a ton, because with a lot of the copy abilities and stuff, usually it's just certain parts in the level where Kirby would use it to get hidden items. Like, for example, you might need the fire power up just to light a fuse and get in the cannon and get to the next part. But this one seems like it's integral to traversing certain parts of the environment. So it looks pretty interesting. I'm definitely very excited to see that part. Actually, I do have a lot more to talk about, but I want to hear some of TakuStar's thoughts before I ramble on for a few days. But what did you think about the mouthful mode stuff?
Yeah, no, it looks lame, but it looks cool lame. It's like a, but I mean,
I guess you could say it sucks, because it's definitely accurate. You know, Kirby, that's what he needs to do in order to get the ability. So
yeah,
we're not wrong, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, it works for Kirby, I guess. But yeah, it looks really cool. Looking forward to the game. And you know, remember when I had, before they even announced the game, I had my premonition.
Yeah, you had your
day before.
Exactly. Yeah, that was I like to call TakuStar the Oracle now, because we were just talking about the game the day before. I completely forgot about it, and TakuStar was talking about how he was, you know, just talking about new features, and I think you did mention as well about a new trailer. You wanted to see a new trailer, and then next minute, or more like next day, a new trailer came out. So that was his Oracle moment. I'm hoping that he can get me some lottery numbers as well. But no, TakuStar's Kirby instinct was correct. Yeah,
but yeah, the game looks amazing. Day one buy for me. Like I said, just looking forward to seeing how they've switched up everything, how certain abilities we've grown to like love, how they work in a 3D space, and obviously you've got the like the new mechanics of being able to power ups as well. How that's going to work as well. And also by powering up like these powers, does it affect how levels are tackled as well? Maybe you need it to be a certain level to tackle, to like burn a certain grass, I don't know,
like maybe really thick grass requires a powered up ability or something like that.
So those are things I'm looking forward to seeing how that feature works. Maybe it might not even work that way, so but it'll be interesting to see what little things they've done to keep us entertained, I guess. That'd be interesting to find out. I am definitely quite excited to see that. And another thing as well, as TakuStar mentioned about like the upgrading the different abilities and so on, that's something that we haven't seen since I believe it was Kirby Mouse Attack or Squeak Squad for you American viewers. But yeah, I know that was very similar, where you could upgrade the abilities and use them and for different things. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays into the game, whether it's like a part of the integral part of progressing or just side power-ups. But another thing as well that we saw was the Waddle Dees that you have to save now. So they seem to be the main part of the game, and I have to admit I got flashbacks to Sonic Lost World, collecting flickies and animals to progress to the next area. But I will say that in this game it looks like it plays a more integral role, because again, the previously mentioned power-ups and stuff that we spoke about, it seems like the towns the main Waddle Dee town will upgrade when you rescue more of them. So more of them will get to work in certain buildings, and again, as I said, not only unlocking other areas but also allowing you to do more things in the town from what we've seen so far. So that looks like another pretty interesting part of the game. And finally as well, we did get to see we got a first glimpse of a few of the bosses. So we had a leopard lady and like a giant armadillo guy. So yeah, just other characters that adds to the bosses that Kirby will face. Hopefully we'll be seeing some more in the future. And also of course I forgot the biggest one as well, the king himself, King D3 or King DDD, who looked like he was possessed yet again. So yeah, it seems like the king unfortunately gets possessed. Him getting possessed seems to be a regular thing at this point, but we didn't get to see his face or anything. So is it like a mirror version of him, like in an Amazing Mirror? We had Mirror Meta Knight or something. We don't know yet, but we'll have to wait and find out. But what I do know is that this game is shaping up to look really good. And yeah, this game will be available on the 25th of March. So yeah, keep a lookout for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. But yeah, TakuStar, do you have anything else to mention? I know there was so much in this trailer, but
yeah, doesn't like there's much else to say. But yeah, both are very excited for the game, so I'll definitely be keeping a lookout for that one. I think that'll be the first Kirby game that I bought in about 10 years, because last one I bought was Kirby's Adventure for Wii. But anyway, this one's just looking like it's something that would bring me back into the series again. All right, now next up we had a game that I completely forgot about until I just read about it now. This is The Show 22, which is the baseball or a Japanese baseball game, and I believe this was presented by a Japanese player himself, which I name. Oh, okay. Well, no, and the name I cannot remember. I think it was Shohei Otani, and I think I've absolutely butchered his name. But yeah, he came out and he advertised the Big Show 22, or yeah, he just advertised the Big Show 22. Or sorry, just the Show 22. Not even the show's not even big. It's just the Show 22. So I have to admit, I'm not, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not the biggest baseball fan. Again, I know there are some people out there who absolutely love the Show 22, but I personally don't have too much else to say here, because it didn't appeal to me that much. But looks like an alright game in my opinion. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, TakuStar, do you have much else to add? Yeah, no, I'm guessing that's a no. So anyway, I'll just probably move on to the next game. The Show 22, when is it coming out? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, okay, so it just says pre-orders available now. Okay, launches the 5th of April on Switch. Okay, there we go. But yeah, not much else to say to that. Anyway, moving on from The Show 22, we have Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 Collection. However, this one is, or all of 3 of these games are only available on the cloud. So one, I'm not a huge Kingdom Hearts fan anyway. I mean, I would definitely be willing to give it a try. I have a cousin who's quite a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, and I've played a few games. I've played a little bit of 2 at his house, so I know a little bit about Kingdom Hearts. But for me, the gameplay was all right, and then when it got to the story, that's when I was lost. So I never really went much further than that. But to be honest, the fact that these are on a cloud, in like cloud versions, I probably won't be picking it up because of that. Just because, cloud version, unfortunately, the way the cloud version works is that you don't actually own the game. It's not actually there like you have like a disc or digital download. It's like it's at one of the company's servers. So when you put in a button, like you put in A, then it will register A on their side. And in a lot of cases, this can cause delays, and it just doesn't run as smoothly as you would if you had it on disc or digital. So yeah, I probably won't be getting it I won't be getting it through this version. Again, this is already on Xbox, I believe, like Xbox Game Pass and that, so I guess I could play it from there if I wanted to, but as I said, I'm not the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan. TakuStar, I know you're not exactly a Kingdom Hearts diehard, so have you got anything else you wanted to say about this collection?
I mean, it's cool that it's their cloud version. Suck. I'm just not the biggest fan. I really did try to get into that series. It's just it's a mental block.
I agree with you there. I think I have to agree 100% with TakuStar as well. Cloud versions suck. The only cloud version that I would like was the one that involves Limit Break and spiky hair. So apart from that, I won't be going anywhere near this or any other type of cloud games. So hopefully that will send the message that people aren't really too interested. But I do suspect, it's got Disney on the front, it's Kingdom Hearts, it's a big title. So I can imagine this is probably going to sell pretty well anyway. But guys, please go for digital or disc versions. I mean, obviously you can't with Kingdom Hearts Collection, but if you can, try and go for those versions instead, because they will run a lot smoother. A ton smoother. Now we have one of the big games, another game that I had absolutely no idea. And TakuStar, can you introduce this one, please? Because I think if the viewers have seen the previous podcasts, I think they'll know about your history with this game.
Oh, Klonoa.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, now for mine, obviously I knew that there was some kind of collection in that Namco Bandai was working on in the works. And there was all these
rumors, weren't there? Quite a few
rumors, websites being created and stuff like that. So it was a nice surprise. I totally thought, I didn't even think they would show it at here. So it was nice to see that they it was just nice to see.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite franchises as well. Like and it's got like a 4 platform. It's got quite a very like deep story. Yeah, just super looking forward to the series came out around when the PS1 era, but you had like giants like Crash, Spyro.
Yeah.
You even had the Sonic when Sonic was like this behemoth back in the day. You had your Mario 64, Sunshine. So the series didn't really get time to shine. But I feel like now with the Switch, you've got so many young people. Obviously, it'd just be nice if people were just play this game and give it a chance. And obviously, it's nice that in modded, like I had to really scrounge around the internet just to get number one and the remake of number one for the Wii online to play that on the Wii, and then obviously to get even number two for the PS2, I had to scrounge online so I could play it on my PS3 because I've got the PS3, the old one where you can play PS2 games. But
the backwards compatible one.
Yeah, but it doesn't upscale the games, right?
Right.
So now with this new collection, these are remasters. What they remasters?
Yes, essentially remasters,
Remakes?
aren't they? Or was it, I guess remake. I guess. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. We have to see a little bit more actually because it's called. Yeah, they don't actually say if it's a remaster or remake, but I suspect it's a remake just because of the fact that, from what I've been hearing a lot of people say, the models. Well, it's definitely not a remake. It's definitely not a remaster of the
first
second gen ones.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a remake of the first one at the very least.
Yeah, because the first one was 2D sprites. Klonoa was a 2D sprite. And the thing is with Klonoa, it's probably one of the best games that uses the 2.5D effect, like being able to shoot stuff from. Obviously, it's still a 2D game, but you can shoot stuff in the foreground there, and it affects certain puzzles work, and it's just done a really amazing job. It's got good soundtrack. I just really looking forward to playing it, and I'll double dip again, even though I've already got the games. But it's nice having like a HD collection of these games, and now it's going to be out on PC. It's going to be out on modern consoles, and
I believe it's also on all the big consoles like Switch,
Switch,
Xbox, and PS5.
Yeah, and now we've got this digital infrastructure with these platform holders, so the game's always going to be on there, so that people can always give the series a chance. It's not like back in the day where it was all just disc based, so you couldn't get. But now, players, whenever they want to play these games, they're there.
Much more accessible, accessible to everyone, to a wider audience.
Yeah.
But as you said, you got to double dip and show that Klonoa support.
Yeah.
But no, I've been hearing a lot of people saying as well the classic games are getting a bit expensive, and as you said, are kind of difficult to find nowadays for a decent price. So it's definitely something that's welcome. As I said, I don't know too much about Klonoa. I believe you did lend me the Wii version, the Wii one, but I never got too far in the game. But I think this time now I'll have no excuse because, as you said, it's just so widely available to everyone. But again, it's good to see that they're bringing back a classic series that I know there was a cancelled film and so on. But I've just heard really great things about Klonoa. It was it wasn't as popular as like Sonic and Mario and Crash Bandicoot, but I always heard in terms of ratings it was just as good as those games, if not better than some of them. So probably a game that I'll check out. I don't think there's a release date. There's been an official release date yet, not that I can see. But I'll just be on the lookout for that one, guys. Be on the lookout for Klonoa. I believe that's called the is it Reverie series? Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series. So keep a lookout for that one, guys. Anyway, another game that just kind of came out of nowhere. We have Portal Companion Collection by Valve, and this is a compilation of Portal 1 and 2. And honestly, this is kind of crazy. As I said, or as I've said quite a lot of times, I didn't expect to see these games, but I believe Valve haven't ported a game to a Nintendo console in over a decade. So Portal Collection kind of just came out of nowhere, in my opinion. And but again, it might have came out of nowhere, but I'll probably happily download it because I've played through the first one, really enjoyed the first Portal game. Crazily, I haven't actually played the second game yet. I'm one of those cheap guys who was constantly waiting for it to come out of games of gold. and I think it did come out at one point, but I just wasn't there to download it. So unfortunately, I haven't played the second one, but it's definitely a welcome addition on the Switch. It definitely feels like Portal definitely feels like the most Nintendo-like game out of the other Valve games that they could have ported. So I think it fits pretty nicely on the Switch. And of course, there's always a portable version of Portal for you to play while you're not at home. But how about you, TakuStar? How do you feel about this companion collection? Have you played much of Portal? Or?
No, I haven't played Portal, but I've heard good things about it. Hopefully, I'd like to get down to play it eventually. It's good that it's on the Switch. Just kind of surprised, just because now that Valve are doing like their own portable console hybrid thing where you can play Steam games. So it was just kind of weird. But I mean, at the end of the day, they want to make money, so I guess they probably feel like, oh, we can put it on Nintendo console, because some Nintendo gamers don't even have a beefy PC to play a Steam game. So
very true.
I guess it makes sense to put it on there. So good addition.
Definitely. I mean, Valve, they like their portable consoles, but they also like money as well. So yeah, that'll be going onto the Switch. So no release date, but it just says available this year. Oh, and also one thing I should mention is that Portal 2 is actually a co-op game as well. There's a co-op mode. So from what I've heard, you can play this online with friends. So yeah, that'll be great to play with friends. And as I said, Portal 1, well, at least I definitely know from first experience that Portal 1 is somewhat of a classic. But yeah, I've heard that both of these games are very well received. They're both seen as classics in the gaming community. So yeah, definitely I'll be looking forward to Portal Companion Collection, and I'd like to pick that up soon. Anyway, moving on from Portal, we have another Japanese exclusive game that was ported to the West, and this is called Live a Live. Well, I've heard some people call it Live Alive, but I believe they confirmed it's Live a Live. So yeah, but anyway, Live a Live is another RPG game, and I don't know too much about it. It seems like there's different stories and you go to different time periods. I was going to say something that probably might receive a lot of pitchforks and torches from fans. I was about to say it sounds just like Chrono Triggers with the different time periods and so on, but I'm going to hold my breath because I haven't played, as I said before, I haven't played it, so I can't make any comparisons, and I suspect that a lot of people listening haven't played this game either because it was a Japanese exclusive, but it looks quite interesting. I mean, again, I'm not the biggest RPG guy, but I think I do know someone who is a bigger RPG fan than me, and he's right here with us. So TakuStar, how do you feel about Live a Live?
So I don't know too much about it, but just by looking at that trailer, I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. You've got like these different characters with their own story and they're from different times, and their stories kind of entwined, I guess. And in the end, how does all of that fit in together? The game looks really nice. It's got the 2D remake thing that's been happening with the older games after Octopath Traveler, and obviously Octopath Traveler sort of had that system as well, where there was all these different characters from different parts of the world, and they had their own story. And I guess maybe in that game they came together, I guess. So looking forward to this one as well. Like it just looks really interesting. Definitely a day one buy for me. It just looks really interesting, and obviously for the more hardcore RPG fans that really know this game existed, I guess that now they've got the chance to like actually play it in a really good state, I guess. So yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, just as you mentioned it about the different time periods and stuff, it also got me quite interested in seeing how they're connected, because I'm just rewatching the trailer again, and I'm seeing places like the Wild West, Imperial China, and Twilight of Edo, Japan. And it's like all these different time periods, and even into the future as well, the near future and the distant future. So yeah, I'm quite interested to see how these stories will connect, if they do at all. But yeah, as you mentioned as well, Octopath looking very similar to Octopath. It's got like a modern RPG look to it, or it's been touched up a little, so it looks better than the classic version. But yeah, it's I don't play too many RPGs, but there's a lot of RPGs here that are enticing me quite a bit to get back into it. But yeah, Live a Live is available on the 22nd of July, so it's not too far away, just a few months. But yeah, Western fans will be happy. I'm sure Western fans will be happy to play this one for the first time outside of Japan. Anyway, this game that is coming up next is quite, again, another cult classic game, or the previous one was a cult classic. The second one didn't sell nearly as well as the first one, but I'm pretty sure every Wii owner in the world will know exactly what this is about. And this one is Wii Sports, or is it just called Wii Sports? Sorry, no, it's called where is it?
Approximately 10 hours later.
Oh, sorry, wait, Nintendo Switch Sports. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't.
You're still stuck in the Wii.
Yeah, Nintendo. It said Nintendo Switch Sports. Yeah, I froze for a second. I was watching Wii Sports, classic Wii Sports gameplay, and I couldn't remember. But yeah, I guess the clue is in the console. But anyway, this is a Nintendo Switch Sports, and this is, again, it does include a lot of the classic Wii Sports titles. And again, I should mention that Wii Sports, because it was packaged in with the Wii, it was like practically one of the best-selling games of the Wii era, and one of the best-selling games of all time. I believe it's in the top 10, so very popular game. Wii Sports Resorts was the second one that came out, which didn't sell nearly as well as the classic Wii Sports, but it was still quite a popular game, and that added in a few additional modes as well. But anyway, Nintendo Switch Sports has done something that's alienated a few fans. It's got a few fans split, but you can see that most of the main characters here are no longer Miis. It just looks like these crazy alien people that have invaded the Mii universe. But no, jokes aside, they're just like normal people, and they haven't quite got the figure of the Miis. But yeah, all the sports are there. For a lot of the classic sports are there, such as the bowling, the tennis, and I believe golf will be coming soon as well. And there's a few additional ones that they've added, such as football and volleyball, and a few others. Oh, and I should mention as well, there's like sword fighting, which was what was on Wii Sports Resort. But in addition to this, there are like you can play online with friends as well, from what I can tell, and it makes use of the Switch's motion controls and everything. So classic. I think it looks like a solid game. It's classic Wii Sports action with a twist. And also, I should mention as well, in the showcase after, they did show that you can play as classic Mii characters, although they have a slight difference in design. So they don't have the classic no arms and no legs. It's like they've got arms and legs again, but it is your Mii. So they're not completely gone. It's just they're not the focus of this game. Anyway, TakuStar. After it took me about an hour to remember what the title of this game was, do you have any other thoughts on Wii Sports? Switch Sports?
The result looks nice, but yeah, I'm just kind of done with the Mii avatar era type stuff. But I mean, it's cool for for people that are fans of that. But yeah, it won't be. I always like the music they have in those, it's like super chilled out lounge music or whatever. It's always I always like that, and the use of colors they have with the stuff. But yeah, probably missing this one out.
Yeah, I know it's just the classic chillin' Wii Sports music. It's definitely a really relaxing game to play until you play it with a friend of yours who's yelling at the bowling screen and shouting strike all the time. I won't go into that. But anyway, some friends do get pretty competitive with these games. But anyway, yeah, mostly relaxing sports. And there might be a lot of Wii Sports fans out there who's asking for a Wii Sports Matt. And in case if you aren't aware, he was the final boss in boxing, and he was a really skilled Mii, and everyone knows and fears him. I think he appeared in Wii Sports Resort as well. I think he did a lot of sword fighting. But yeah, Wii Sports Matt is definitely a character we want to see back. He needs to make it back for the trilogy. But yeah, apart from that, I hope it's just a solid game. It looks all right so far, so it might be something that I'm going to pick up. But again, it's not my game that I'm rushing to go out and get. So Wii Sports Switch looking solid. And also I should mention as well that they are doing a playtest which I believe is on the 18th of February. I might have to double check and get those dates, but there will be an online beta test before the full game launches later this year. So if I can just double check the exact date and time, well, maybe not times, but the exact date. I believe it's coming up quite shortly. Yeah, I'll get those dates up if I can, but yeah, Nintendo Switch Sports coming soon. Look out for that one, guys. Anyway, moving on from Nintendo Switch Sports, we have Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival, and I think I butchered that one. But anyway, yeah, that one will be Sorry. Before I go into that one, because it was bugging me so much, the online playtest is between the 18th and 20th of February this month. So yeah, you guys will be able to try it out. I believe they said that it's only bowling, chambara, and tennis, which I believe chambara is the one of the new modes that they've added, I believe. But anyway, only random online matchmaking, so you can't play alongside friends, unfortunately. And of course, you need the online membership to play. So yeah, if you guys want a taste of that for free, then be sure to wait for the 18th, between the 18th and 20th, to give it a try. Anyway, as I was saying before then, the next game was Taiko no Tatsujin. Luckily, I think I've saved it that time. Saved the title that time. But anyway, that is a Rhythm Festival. And this is, as the name suggests, a rhythm game. And it's in a very similar style to, like, say, the classic Guitar Heroes, but with the drum twists. So you'll be seeing classic music tracks such as Legend of Zelda tracks, which I believe, well, actually no, they show it in the English one as well. They showed it in both the Japanese and English one, alongside other like newer songs such as Megalovania from Undertale and so on. So it seems like they'll have quite a big range of different songs that you can play. I'm hoping that we'll get something like a DK bongo to play this, because you can't playing this with a controller. I don't know if I can do that. I gotta have the full bongo experience. But no, it looks like a fun rhythm game, a good nice side distraction. I know some people play this game religiously, but me personally, I'm not a religious rhythm player game. But how about you, TakuStar? Any Taiko no Tatsujin secret champion, or secret fanatic?
No. I just know the series is super big in Japan. I think it's kind of big over here with like the rhythm cult people.
Definitely getting bigger.
Yeah, so probably the Dance Revolution people. This is like their new fix. And all the rapper guys. This is like what they have right now. So yeah, it looks cool. It looks quite really satisfying. Like the way all the animations of when you hit buttons and stuff's just like bam 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 bang.
Yeah.
It looks cool. Not my not my type of game, but I could tell it'd be a lot of fun if one of my friends had it and they're like, oh, let's try this out. But I just wouldn't fork money out of my own wallet to purchase it.
Yeah, I can understand it. Also, I should mention that there's a paid in-game subscription service that will allow you to play over 500 different songs at launch. So if you want a little bit extra, a few extra tracks, then you can get that online. Also, not online, not the Switch Online service, but there's an additional subscription service that you'll be able to purchase. So yeah, that's quite interesting. I should mention as well that this game is actually on Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if it's the exact same one. I suspect it is, but it has been on Xbox Game Pass, so it is available on other console platforms. I can imagine it's on PS5 as well, but the Switch version will be coming a bit later by the sounds of it, so look out for that. Anyway, moving on, we have another game that has appeared. I believe it's appeared, or at least feels like it's appeared in every direct since it was announced, and that is Project Triangle strategy game. So Project Triangle strategy game, I think we've spoken about this game quite a lot. But, well, first of all, I think they need to work on that name, that title, because the triangle strategy just doesn't quite roll off the tongue. But anyway, in terms of the actual game, it's a strategy, well, as the name suggests, it's a strategy game, similar to like Final Fantasy Tactics and so on, and a little bit of a hint of Fire Emblem, maybe like Fire Emblem Awakening, or I'm trying to think of the exact Fire Emblem. So I'm not a Fire Emblem specialist, but it seems like it's got elements of multiple types of RPG and strategy games. So it looks okay. As I said, I'm not really into these type of games, but I think it looks like a solid game, and it seems to have quite the following behind it at the moment. A lot of people are excited for this one. But how do you feel about this one, TakuStar?
That's a good game. Actually, before we got on this call, I was playing a bit of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the demo.
The demo is actually really good. Right. There's a lot of intricate, like where you have to place characters on your map, and attacking certain characters at their back causes more of a critical hit. And it's just a well-made game. And then obviously there's the story side of things. So if you've got responses, and each response you give based on what question you've been asked, I think there's like 3 different. I don't want to say they're not gauges, but elements, and depending how high your gauge is within those three things you can answer things in a certain way, and that affects every decision you make in the story affects certain things. So yeah, and then I played the demo. I just had one fight. Enjoyed what I played. It's really flashy. The graphics look really nice. It's got the remake 2.5D pixel thing going on. Yeah, nice, well-made game. Yeah, I definitely think if you like tactical games, definitely it's a must-buy for fans out there. Yeah, definitely just well-made game. Just the name's kind of crappy, but
that I can agree on. But yeah, there you have it, guys. Someone who's actually experienced the game can you've got TakuStar's seal of approval. So far so good by the sounds of it. And also I should mention that with the demo you can play up to the end of chapter 3, and it shows that you can transfer the save data to the full game once you purchase it. So your demo the data will not be, or your demo progress will not be finished once the full game comes out. But yeah, I don't think there's a set release date for it, but the prologue demo I believe is out to play now. So yeah, feel free to enjoy that if you want a taste of the triangle strategy experience. So after a triangle strategy game, we had Cuphead, and this is going to be the Delicious Last Course DLC. Now, we've heard about Cuphead a ton. I think they announced this DLC way back when. I can't even remember. I think they announced it when I was a child. I don't know. But either way, I know that this game, it requires much love and care because of all the custom, like the hand-drawn animations and so on. So I know that they put a lot of effort into these games. Now, I did play the original Cuphead and absolutely loved it. I definitely recommend that game to anyone and everyone, I guess. It's pretty challenging, but even if you're not really too into challenging games, then I still recommend trying it out, just because it's I think it just offers a unique experience. Again, the Delicious Last Course will introduce the new character, Miss Chalice, and it seems to take place on a DLC, or what's called DLC Island. So you'll be facing new bosses and new Cuphead experience, I guess. But if it's anything like the base game, then I'm pretty sure it'd be amazing. And also one thing as well that I can mention from the trailer is that they seem to have added a few new weapons as well. So there's like a beam that shoots, like a laser that shoots 3 lasers, and they're at like 2 are at 40-degree angles and the other at 90-degree angles. So it seems like they'll be adding a few things in addition to just the new bosses. And also as well, you can see Miss Chalice has like a dodge ability, and they're also using her in normal stages. So it seems like quite a lot to take in this small trailer. Definitely one of the DLCs that I've been anticipating quite a lot, and yeah, I can't wait for it to come out. I know that it just takes time. It takes time to do these hand-drawn animations, so I'm fine with more waiting. I've waited like 2 more years, so what's a little while longer. But anyway, TakuStar, how do you feel about Cuphead? I don't really think I've asked you much about Cuphead before, but what do you think?
No, good games. Too hard for my liking, I guess. They're probably even more harder than Mega Man games, like I think.
They are pretty challenging.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's good that the series is getting a lot of love. It's got a Netflix TV.
Yeah, the show's coming out soon.
So there's that, but yeah, no, and then obviously more DLC for it coming. So yeah, it's good that the brand's growing. Yeah, it's just good that it's out. I don't know if I'll get it just because I suck at the games, and I only want to play games I'm good at, because they make me feel better about myself.
I will say they did add like a novice, like there's 3 levels of difficulty now, and there's like a lower difficulty. There's like normal, and then there's one lower than normal, it's like a beginner type mode. So they're definitely trying to make it more accessible to everyone. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean, even if the gameplay is too difficult, honestly, the music's really good, and again, of course, I'm pretty sure the main draw that everyone wants to see, exactly, yeah, the main draw, the classic rubber hose animation.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's good that the series is getting a lot more love. Yeah, it's just interesting to see where they go with the series afterwards. Are they still gonna stay in 2D? I mean, maybe they will. Should be weird if they go 3D, because
that would be very strange. That's the Cuphead charm, isn't it? Really, just the art style.
Because once it goes 3D, it's like it's like a completely different game. But yeah, I think they should just stay 2D. And then I don't know what else they could do to, I don't know what else. But whatever they make next will be exciting, because obviously now we know the studio can make good games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to have. I'll say it at the end of the podcast.
All right then. Well, okay, we can save that stuff for later. But yeah, the cup is still going strong. Again, Delicious Last Course. I don't think there's a confirmed release date quite yet. Oh, actually, they might have announced a release date. I'm not too sure about the Switch, like the Switch one. So I'm not going to mention it because they just because they didn't put one on the screen. But I believe the Xbox and PS5 version, or sorry, PS4, I believe, a version. I don't know if it's on PS5 as well. I'm not too sure, but either way, the other versions that are non-Switch do have their release dates. So yeah. Anyway, moving on from Cuphead, we had Metroid Dread, and honestly, one of my games of the years. It was either that or Psychonauts 2. But either way, Metroid Dread, an incredible game last year, now is receiving some free DLC update. Now, this update doesn't really include too much, to be honest, but what it does have is a new Dread mode where if you get touched a single time, then you will be given a game over and return to the last save point, I'm assuming, and much like in the normal gameplay when you die. But in addition to that, there's also the rookie mode, which they've made a little bit more accessible to newer players that find it too difficult. So that will, I'm assuming that the bosses and enemies will do less damage to Samus, and pretty much should just be much easier, more pleasant experience for newer players to go through. In addition to that, and I believe the first update is already launched. It launched on the 10th of February, so yeah, it should be already available to play. Also, in April, they announced that they'll also be announcing another free update, and that will be the boss rush mode. And with that, you'll be able to go through the game, and much like normal standard boss rush modes in other games, you'll just fight the bosses one after the other. Not too sure if your health will be replenished in between, but again, I'm kind of assuming that it's going to be like normal boss rushes, like in other games, so you'll have like a saved health bar. But yeah, as I said, as I was saying before, it's not the hugest updates, but it's nice to see that they're still supporting Metroid Dread. Sorry, I only said that Samus Returns. But yeah, it's good to see that they're still supporting Metroid Dread in the long run, and by the looks of it, they're going to be there supporting it for longer. But yeah, TakuStar, how do you feel about this update? I saw you shaking your head a little bit. How do you feel about this update?
Lame update. Could have just been the game updated by itself, and then when you log into the game, it just says, "Oh, these are the new features." It didn't have to be direct, but you know, it's good that the game's still being supported and putting these new features in.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's good that they're still supporting, and I mean, it's Metroid. If there's anything Metroid in this direct, I'll be cheering. So it's good to see that. And I'm pretty sure Nintendo, they want to advertise it. They still want to get some more copies, squeeze every penny out of us. But don't worry, guys, it's worth it. Metroid Dread is an amazing game, probably the best Metroid since Super Metroid. So really good, and I recommend it to everyone. Again, if you are apprehensive about picking it up because of the difficulty, now there's rookie mode. Or if for some reason you thought it was too difficult, and if for some reason you thought it was too easy, and trust me, guys, this is not an easy game. But yeah, you'll get the Dread mode, so you'll be killed in a single hit. And just saying that, I'm pretty sure that there are people who finished it before the direct even finished. So yeah, there are some pros out there. But either way, the second update will be launching sometime in April of 2022. But the rookie and Dread mode are already out. So yeah, feel free to download that if you want to try or want more of a challenge or a little bit easier. Anyway, moving on from Metroid Dread, we have another fan favorite game, or cult classic. And this is Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings that will be added to the NES Classic or SNES Classic for Earthbound. And again, as I was saying, cult classic games which you don't really hear. You hear fans always talking about, like, begging for a new version, which I really don't blame them. This game, I mean, this series has a huge cult following, and it seems to have just gone under the radar a lot by Nintendo, and they haven't really done much with the game. I can't even remember the last time that a new game came out, unless you want to count Beginnings as a new game, because it was only recently released compared to the like Mother and Mother 2. But yeah, these games will be available for download if you have the online Nintendo Online Pass. So, and I believe again it was released on the 10th of February as well. So yeah, it was all available during the direct. But yeah, TakuStar, have you tried much Earthbound, or how do you feel about these releases?
I mean, they're cool that they're in close up into Earthbound. Is Ness and Lucas and in
Smash Brothers.
Smash,
Yeah. That's all I know.
That's
from
the
as well.
closest. But yeah, if she's got a cult following, like you said, with this direct, a lot of it is for old time fans. They getting these games on the Switch. So that's the same with this cult classic series, that players are getting these games here. For new players that have never experienced them, able to do so this time around because now they're available on a modern day console. So hopefully if you guys buy more of these games, you might get Mother 3 finally, and then
gotta show your support, guys. Maybe if there's a ton of downloads, they'll see the player interest and they'll start working on the next one. Who knows? But I guess fans can dream. But anyway, moving on from Earthbound. I mean, again, cult classics, but I don't really have too much to say just because I don't know too much about Earthbound. But anyway, or Mother for Japanese viewers. But after that, we had kind of like a mixture of games, and I won't really focus on them for too long because it was only like a short reel. But anyway, we had Zombie Army 4, The Dead War. It looks like a zombie shooter, sometimes a zombie shooter game. Didn't really see too much gameplay. Then we have Getsu Fumaden, Undying Moon, which is saying that it's available later today. Again, it seems like a classic 2D Japanese folklore type hack and slash game mixed with RPG elements. But yeah, again, giant boss battles and so on. So that's pretty intense. After that, we have Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, which is available on the 10th of June. It's like an arena brawler similar to the Naruto Storm games. Then we have Lego Brawls, which is a Lego, I believe it's like a Lego Smash Brothers clone in a way. So looks similar to Smash Brothers. Okay, after that we have 2 Point Campus. Looks like never tried it actually, but it looks like some type of life simulator game where you can build stuff and pretty much Sims 2.0, I guess. Or either way, it's looking very similar to that to me. We didn't see too much just because it was a quick highlight reel game. But TakuStar, do you want to talk about any of those games? Did any of those catch your attention, or was it just some games? yeah, I guess it was just some games. So if you guys are interested in any of those games, then I'm sure you'll be happy. If you want an arena brawler like Naruto Storm, then I guess you can get that Demon Slayer. Anyway, moving on, we were getting pretty close to the end at this point, and I was kind of thinking, they're just going to wind down the reveals and so on. But this second to last game is a very familiar one that I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of, and it's only just the best-selling Switch game. But no, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will be getting another expansion, and guys, not 1, not 2, not 10, not 20, but 48 48 different racing courses. And I believe these are like remastered ones from the previous games. But man, 48 courses is insane. I mean, the fact is that the game has 48 courses at the moment, so you'll be pretty much buying 48 more courses. You'll be doubling the number of tracks in this game. So that is pretty insane in itself. And I believe it's around £25. So you won't be paying too much money for this expansion either. Another thing I should mention, or quite a huge thing, is that you can access this. You can either pay the money for the additional tracks, or you can just subscribe to the Nintendo Switch Online, like the expansion pass one, because not only will it give you N64 games and Sega Mega Drive games or / Genesis games, it will also give you access to this DLC, Happy Home Paradise for Animal Crossing, and also these 48 additional courses. So honestly, that seems like that should have been Nintendo's opening statement when announcing this expansion pass, because playing a ton of Nintendo 64 games that I've already played and downloaded on the Wii was not super appealing to me. But this looks incredible. It definitely breathes a lot more new life into Mario Kart 8, and it's making us question about Mario Kart 9. But how do you feel about this one, TakuStar?
This was probably the news of the show. I generally thought they were going to announce Mario Kart 9, but it was insane. And I'm not even angry that they don't even announce. Like, I should be mad, but I'm not mad. Like, the game's like nearly in 2024, it'll be 10 years old.
Jeez, yeah.
And we're essentially getting a new game. But not a new game, but we're getting 48 more tracks, and then adding
double the game size, I guess.
Yeah, and adding it with the ones on there, now you've got a total of 96 tracks in one game. That's unheard of.
That is crazy.
That's just insane. Yeah, I'm not even angry. I'm like super happy. Yeah, it's crazy. That it's been around, and it sells like hotcakes every week. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of these games that you think for me, I was like, I'm surprised, but on the flip side, when it was announced, I was like, well, actually, maybe I'm not so surprised because again, this game week in week out, constantly making top 5s of the charts, or over here in the UK at least. I'm pretty sure it's the same in America and Japan. And as I mentioned, it is the best-selling Switch game at the moment. So a game that consistently sells well, it only seems to make sense to just expand on this game because it wasn't the sales weren't getting smaller anytime soon. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. And one of the biggest things about this news, or the thing that I'm the most excited for, is just the fact that they'll be receiving the Mario Kart Tour tracks as well. And that mobile game, I think I got the name right, I think it was Mario Kart Tour, but yeah, the mobile game, honestly, looking at it, I've heard a lot of criticism of the game. The controls were pretty horrendous. The way in which you unlock certain characters, I believe you have to spend real life money to get certain characters. It was not a pretty sight. But one thing I did hear about Mario Kart Tour is just the fact that the stages or the courses were pretty good. So there's no way I'm going anywhere near that mobile game. But now the fact that at least some of the courses I'll be able to play on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's definitely a plus, definitely a win in my books. And again, there's just a ton of classic stages that I can imagine to be remastered, and a ton of tracks that I would enjoy in this Mario Kart 8 Deluxe style. One of the confirmed ones being like Coconut Mall, which is, I believe, a Mario Kart Wii fan favorite. So yeah, I'm definitely really excited for this one. I know I did mention about Kirby and the Forgotten Land being one of the most exciting ones for me, but I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is definitely up there as well as one of my most anticipated games. Or not even games, just anticipated extensions, I should say. But yeah, they're called the Booster Course Pass, or it's called the Booster Course Pass. And I believe they'll start adding, or actually I should mention that the courses will be released in 8 courses will be released over 6 waves, and it will be complete by the end of 2023. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of time left over to be receiving these ones. But as I said, they'll be releasing in groups of 8 each time, and the first one will be available on the 18th of March. So yeah, we will not have to be waiting much longer, only a little over a month. So yeah, I'm definitely pretty excited for that one. Oh, and I should mention it's $25, by the way, not pounds. So maybe we'll get it for a little bit cheaper over here in the UK. But yeah, 48 courses, waves 1 to 6. But yeah, TakuStar, I know we have spoken about it. You've spoken about it already, but do you have anything else to add to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Pass or Booster Course Pass?
No, looking forward to it. But I sort of want to talk about Mario Kart 9 as well. So
we can't leave this topic without talking about 9.
So the other thing we were talking about beforehand was like with all the Disney characters and stuff like that. It makes sense that whenever Mario Kart 9 comes out, I guess the next thing is like a Mario Kart All-Star or Nintendo All-Star Racing. That's like the next thing. I mean, they've sort of dabbled into that already with Mario Kart, with that DLC.
Yeah, they have Link, they have the Inklings, they got Isabelle, Villager.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys, just add all the DLC characters, add all the Nintendo characters in there.
Yeah.
I was half hoping for like some Nintendo characters in these DLC waves, but I think that would have been one of their announcements if that was.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah. The thing is, like, you could then with Mario Kart 9, if it's like an all-star thing, you've already switched up how the game works, because now you've got you have to think about items from other games now.
That's true.
That completely changes how the player's mind works around Mario Kart, because now you've got this new system. You've got these weapons from all these different games, and they work in certain ways. So now you put them in the all-stars, it changes the game completely.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong. They could just decide to say we're making Mario Kart 9. This is it, but it'd be interesting, because obviously Disney's kind of. That's why I wanted when I was talking about Disney before, they've got all these characters in there. So Nintendo's IP, they're just as about as for gamers, they're just as big, I'd say, or even in the game, they're just bigger.
They're the gaming version of Disney, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So like Mario's like the gaming version of Mickey Mouse. So they got the iconic characters and so on, all over spanning across the Nintendo franchise. But I mean, they've got Captain Falcon's kart already. I think we need the Falcon. We need the Captain himself. So I definitely agree with you. I think of course, Mario Kart 9 won't be coming out anytime soon, just because of this DLC update support. But no, I completely agree with you. I hope that the next Mario Kart 9 goes into like the Nintendo All Star, like a Smash Brothers Ultimate style of game, where they add in the Nintendo All Stars, because again, as you said, they're already halfway there with Link and the other Link and Inklings and so on. So yeah, I'd definitely like to see that happen. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Definitely very excited for it. As you said, it's kind of dashed all hopes of a Mario Kart 9, but just like you, I'm not even mad. It was a good game. It's a good game anyway, and having new tracks, or I guess remastered tracks of classic ones, is always something that I find quite nostalgic. So yeah, first wave, or first 8 courses, will be available on the 18th of March. Now we're nearing the end here, and there is one final game that was announced. So they did mention, there was one more announcement, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was anticipating Breath of the Wild here. I was like, is this gonna be Breath of the Wild, or is this gonna be a new Mario Odyssey, or something like Mario Odyssey 2 or something like that? But the screen went dark, and it brightened up again, and the disappointment set in for me. And eventually it was announced to be Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, I'll keep in mind, guys, I said I was disappointed. It was only because I got my hopes up too high for Breath of the Wild 2, because I was really expecting that, because it's supposed to be coming out this year. But enough about that. I'll just focus, give Xenoblade its time to shine here. Xenoblade 3. But anyway, Xenoblade 3, which is of course a follow-up to the massively successful Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, and I believe it should carry on the story. I mean, I believe that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 linked quite a bit into, or at least the DLC modes linked quite a bit into Xenoblade Chronicles 1. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I know next to nothing about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I'm a complete amateur when it comes to this topic. But in terms of the gameplay and what we saw, it looked pretty nice. The worlds are always nice, big and open. They're always visually pleasing. So that's pretty cool. And I know that there are a lot of Xenoblade fans, so I'm sure that they'll be hyped. But me personally, just in the middle, very neutral, and don't have really too much experience with the Xenoblade Chronicles series, except for a tiny bit of X that TakuStar allowed me to play. But yeah, enough about my thoughts. TakuStar, how do you feel about Xenoblade Chronicles 3? And were your expectations hampered by the thought of Breath of the Wild 2 being announced?
Yeah, so I mean, elephant in the room, I really wanted Breath of the Wild 2 to be started talking about, but I guess it's just not ready yet. Yeah. But it's fine. Can wait, I guess. There's loads of games coming out on all platforms anyway, so can't moan. It's just Breath of the Wild was at one of the top games I wanted to play this year. But yeah. When's it coming out? September, right? Xenoblade.
Yes, it's actually not that far. So yeah, September 2022 it says. So really not that far off.
Yeah. Like my experience with the Xenoblade series was Chronicles X. Was an okay game. I just don't like the battle system because it takes away control away from the player quite a lot, and I just don't like that. It'd be kind of cool. Maybe they might put more action-based elements in this new one. I don't know. So that could change up.
Hopefully.
So we'll see where that goes. So I'll be on the lookout for it, just because I want to get into that world a lot more. So if this game manages to change things up, because it seems like the world looks like a nice world to explore. It's got your typical anime storyline, which I like. So I'll be on the lookout for it. If the battle system is still quite similar to previous games, unfortunately I'll be I won't be taking part. But hopefully they change up and make it a bit more action based, and give player a bit more agency in how in how they like put in commands and stuff. It looks cool. Just looking forward to seeing more of it before I actually make my decision to actually purchase it.
I agree with you as well. I didn't really get too much into it. As I said, I played a little bit when you brought over X, and I didn't really get into it too much. But again, the worlds always look really nice in that game. It looks fantastic. Maybe if they revamped the combat a little bit, added a few new features, made it a little bit more engaging. Maybe I was about to make some radical suggestions there, and I know that the Xenoblade fans would probably come at me with pitchforks and torches, especially as someone who hasn't even played through the previous games in the series. But no, I'll just leave it at that. I want to see something really big in the combat mode that's added. So yeah. But either way, that was practically everything in the direct. It was very. It was 40 minutes. It wasn't too long, but yeah, that was everything in the American Direct. One thing I will mention just really quickly is that the Japanese version or the Japanese Nintendo Direct actually had a few exclusive games. I believe there was like 5 exclusive games that appeared in that one that didn't appear in the American one or the one outside of Japan. So I'll just go over them quickly. So there was the Centennial Case, a Shijima Story. That was like a murder mystery live action game from Square Enix. There was another one which I couldn't read that well. I was trying to, my Japanese is still kind of basic, but it was like a Bushido 5, a samurai fighting game by Koei Tecmo Games. There was Loop 8, which seemed like an RPG / dating simulator. It was very strange, made by Marvelous Studios. There was E-Baseball, which is like a cartoony baseball series made by Konami. And finally, and one of the ones that I was kind of surprised they didn't show in outside of Japan was Chocobo GP, which showed a few additional features. It was pretty brief, but it just showed Cloud as a playable character, and I believe Squall was also a playable character as well. So yeah, they didn't have too much, but yeah, there was 5 individual games there, which Japan got over us. So yeah, slightly longer direct for them, but again, I don't really think. I don't know if anyone outside of Japan would have been too excited for these ones, but yeah, that is what it is. But anyway, TakuStar, any thoughts on those games? I know I kind of just briefly went over them and didn't really have too much to say, but yeah, I guess not. I guess there's not really too much to add.
Hey everyone, so I think me and TakuStar have just about covered everything that this Direct has to offer. Of course, I wasn't able to get this one out right on time because I've been moving between editing software quite a bit. I've been having previous problems, but just as I thought this one was done and dusted and was about to upload, Nintendo literally announced about an hour ago the new next-gen 9 Pokemon games in the form of Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. So not quite direct news, but I thought I'd include this one anyway with a Pokemon Direct as opposed to just a normal Nintendo Direct. But yeah, I definitely, much like most of the things in this Direct, I did not see this one coming. We had Pokemon Legends just out the other day alongside Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, so kind of took me off guard. But yeah, I thought I'd just quickly throw in an analysis of this one real quickly. So, me personally, I haven't really played many mainline Pokemon games. The last one I bought was back in 2014 with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and if we're talking about original games, probably 2002, back when the original Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire came out. So I'm not someone who dabbles in Pokemon too often, but if something does capture my attention, I'll definitely give it a try. And Pokemon Legends was very close, but unfortunately just had a few missing features, I think. It didn't have the player versus player battles and so on. There wasn't much multiplayer content there, but it definitely pulled my attention just because of how different it was. And I have to admit, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are definitely doing the same for me as well, as I thought it looked really interesting. So starting off with the trailer, I have to congratulate Nintendo here or Game Freak, because they definitely threw me off of this one. The security guard looking around, looking all like Detective Pikachu. As soon as the coffee came up in the room, I was like, yeah, this is definitely Detective Pikachu. But as I said, they pulled a fast one and ended up revealing the next-gen Pokemon game. Now, this one seems to take a lot of inspiration from Pokemon Legends. As you can see, the open world style, or just free roaming style. Massive worlds, and again, that was the main factor that really got me interested in that compared to the other mainline games. So looks pretty good. I have to admit, there are certain points where I thought it was cooking with Pokemon, just because those wind turbines were looking kind of choppy, I'm not gonna lie. But no, apart from that, the environments look pretty interesting, and again, I'm even really digging the art style as well. The characters themselves, they look a little better than the normal chibi style, or my personal preference, I prefer them slightly more. Looking at the landscape as well, it's looking very much like a European country. Now, at first, I was kind of leaning towards Netherlands. The wind turbines and okay, well, maybe Netherlands aren't the only country with wind turbines and so on. But I was getting the Netherlands impressions. But upon further inspection, it's kind of looking like Spain as well. So definitely a European country. Maybe it's taking elements from both of them. I'm not too sure. But just looking at the inside as well, it kind of looks like a traditional Spanish villa. So yeah, definitely getting a lot of Spain vibes here. Now, moving on to the meat and potatoes, the thing that you guys have all come here for, and that is, of course, the new starters being revealed. So I think I'll start off from right to left, because I think it's a little more obvious the other types compared to the grass starter. But anyway, so first up on the right side we have Quaxly, and this is the water style Pokemon, which I think will be giving Donald a run for his money, because that hat there is looking like he stepped right out of the Kingdom Hearts universe. So I don't usually go for the water types, but I really do think this is a really strong design. I really do like it. And I should just mention in general, the 3 starters is probably the strongest design. As I said, I don't dabble with Pokemon too much, but I keep up with the news. So yeah, and these designs are looking pretty nice compared to the previous gens, or in my opinion, it's designs that I like all around this time. But yeah, Quaxly, a water type duckling Pokemon, and yeah, not too much else to say. I think the name speaks for itself. Now next we have Fuecoco, who is literally fire, or at least a crocodile / dinosaur mixed with a chili pepper, in my opinion. Again, pretty nice design. I think it's pretty solid. It looks like as I said, a dinosaur, chili pepper, or crocodile, as the description says. And this is the standard fire type crocodile. So usually I go with the fire types. As I said, I know a lot of people, this is probably in general the least popular one that I've been seeing in these last hour or so. But I think it looks pretty solid. I really do like its design. And finally, my personal favorite, we have Sprigatito, which is the grass cat. And I'm kind of thinking it's like a mixture of probably Spriggan / Gato, you know, Spanish, which, you know, kind of backs up the theory of this being set in Spain, you know, more of a Spanish theme. But yeah, and Spriggan is kind of like a Cornish folklore, a mythical fairy tale style creature. So yeah, it's kind of like a one you'll find in the grasslands, in the forest and so on. So maybe that's the whole theme, I'm not too sure. But either way, we're looking at a grass cat here. And yeah, standard grass type. My personal favorite design. And just looking at its style and maybe the history with the Spriggan and so on, I'm thinking it could be like a possible grass fairy. As I said, the Spriggans are kind of like mythical fairy tale creatures. So grass and fairy maybe. Fuecoco, I'm gonna say fire and dragon perhaps, just because of its dinosaur-like design. Could be wrong, because it's supposed to be like a crocodile, but that's just the impressions I'm getting. And lastly, Quaxly, who seems to be probably one of the most difficult ones to predict its typing. Again, I'd probably just go with the cop-out and say a water flying type or something along the lines of that, but could be wrong. But as I said before, so far so good for me. I'm liking these original designs. Wasn't expecting to see Gen 9 so early. I was kind of expecting Pokemon Legends DLC to be coming down the line, but with this being slated for 2022 or late 2022 release, then I kind of think the Pokemon Legends DLC is looking less likely, although there was a free update that they announced during this direct. But yeah, what do you guys think? What's your favorite starter, and what typing do you think these ones could be? Alongside the main region, do you think that's like Spanish, or maybe another European country, or maybe just another country outside of Europe altogether? I don't know, leave your thoughts, guys. And yeah, that's about it I have for the Pokemon update. So back to the February direct.
But anyway, guys, thank you all. I think that's about the end of the direct. Yeah, so quite a lot of heavy hitters there, as I said, or a lot of cult classics, and just a ton of games that I did not expect to see there. So TakuStar, in your final thoughts, how would you rate this one, this Nintendo Direct overall?
Really good. High 7, like a 7.8, low 8, 8. Good from RPG standpoint of view. A lot of nostalgic RPGs coming out. Some I haven't had a chance to play that have always been on the in the back of my head. So they're coming out. That's super cool. Yeah, Kirby's coming. I'm super excited about that. Klonoa getting announced, which is like one of my favorite games of all time. That's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be available everywhere. So, now a lot more people that didn't have the chance back in the day can play it, and obviously now there's more gamers than ever, so they can give it a go. Yeah, it's just all right. Yeah, all good. It was a good direct. It was really good. Very best one in a while from my perspective.
Pretty solid lineup. There.
And Mario Kart just Just
Yeah.
when we thought it was dead, not dead, it was still alive, but just when
Well,
we
we kind of thought Deluxe. Yeah, we didn't. We
Yeah.
thought that was the end of Deluxe. We thought it was going to be
Yeah.
like a new Mario Kart coming out.
Yeah.
But
because I wasn't playing it anymore, so
yeah.
I'd like probably just like I'd played so much of it, so I knew like the mechanics so much. I knew the track layouts. I used to not to big up my ego or anything. I started getting like top 3 in a lot of races and winning and stuff. So
nice.
it just got to a point where like there wasn't really any challenge and bragging rights weren't as fun. I knew the track layouts and stuff. So with the new game, like with the new tracks, that means now I can go back and learn the tracks. If they might even give us more. They didn't announce anything about new car parts and stuff like that. So
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get my hopes up too.
I'm not going
high,
to get my hopes up, but
yeah.
but I mean, it means that's another layer of things I have to learn again. So it's like a new game. I'm having to learn the game again. So that's looking for. If they do that, that's I would look forward to that. But I mean, just having the tracks in there itself is.
I
good.
think as well. I think the new kart parts. I mean, I don't want to get anyone's hopes too high up. But no, I think it is a possibility that they might drop a few vehicles, just because I remember in Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, it was more of a sponsored deal. But I know Mercedes, they dropped those random car parts in the game without warning. So who knows? Then maybe they drop some in. But as I said, don't get your hopes up too high, because I'm sure they would mention it immediately and have it in the past and so on. But it's a possibility. It's a possibility. A guy can dream, in other words. But in terms of how you got pretty good at Mario Kart Deluxe before, I'd say I taught you well, TakuStar.
Remember the bomb that destroyed you at the the cloud level.
Look, we don't talk about that anymore, right?
It was the banana in
I
the
do
bomb.
remember Dry Bowser winning that tournament, though. My Dry Bowser winning that tournament. But
I mean, I just play for the spicy plays, so that's what.
Yeah, but no, jokes aside, in case anyone wasn't aware, I didn't have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I did have Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U, but I just couldn't bring myself to buying it again because it seemed so similar. But as soon as they announced those tracks, the direct didn't even finish and I had purchased it, so I had that very quickly. But no, again, I completely agree with you. It's like breathed a new breath of life into this game with all those additional tracks. And overall, Mario Kart 8 was the biggest. But no, in terms of my rating overall, I think I'd probably say the same as you. Maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. I will admit, I know there are tons of cult classics. I know there are some people out there who've said that this is their favorite direct to date, and I don't blame them. But I don't blame them. But for me personally, I know that there were cult classics and very hyped games, but for me personally, they're not games that really appeal to me, but I just know how important they are to a lot of people, like Klonoa coming back after no one had seen it for a long time, and Earthbound as well making its online appearance and so on, and a lot of remasters and ports. So yeah, that's the only reason why I'd reduce points, just because it's a lot of remasters and ports. But it's kind of ironic because last year my most wanted games were Skyward Sword and Master Ninja Collection from Ninja Gaiden. But anyway, I think that about sums it up. I don't really have too much else to say. Just a really solid direct, I think. But anyway, TakuStar, whereabouts can everyone find you if they want to see you outside of the podcast?
In real life.
In real life. That's right, guys. So TakuStar, can you drop some home address details, and maybe the viewers can see you in real life? Maybe go and talk to you and get some more info, or
Station Square, SQ 9W6TJ.
All right. You see, TakuStar, he's a bit busy fighting chaos at the moment, so you might not be able to talk to him. But apart from that, I don't think it's TakuStar. I don't think you don't really use Twitter much anymore, do you? Nah. But TakuStar, he's kind of working. I'm guessing you're gonna make other platforms eventually, or but nothing at the moment. So but at the moment, if you guys want to follow me as well, of course on YouTube, it's always great. Feel free to like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed this, and turn on the bell to be notified of when we get some more podcasts up, because I really do enjoy these podcasts, and hopefully we can do quite a lot more in the future. But subscribe and like if you enjoyed this. And with that, I think I'll just leave it there before I ramble on for any longer. Anyway, thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.